Plan before you start. One of the most common problems that product teams face when developing products is that the time it takes to develop features is way longer than what they originally estimated. And one of the key reasons for this is that in the corporate world, there is a general sense of urgency and teams are under a lot of pressure to show progress. And in order to show progress, teams have a vague sense of what needs to be done, and they think that it would probably take about 2 weeks of work, and then they start work, and 1.5 weeks in, they realize that there is more work to be done. And maybe there is another 3 weeks of work that's required, and they update the timelines, and they say that they need to take about 5 weeks, and then they continue work, and another 2 weeks in, they uncover even more work. And once this cycle happens once or twice, teams start to get frustrated. And at this stage, more often than not, some other higher priority item would come along, and teams say, okay, let's put this on the back burner, work on the new item. And the cycle repeats even with the new item. And before you know it, you have a ton of things that are 80% done, which are of no real value. Over the years, I've seen this cycle repeat over and over with several teams. And back in 2015, I was exposed to this technique called elaboration. In the process of elaboration, the entire team would get together to try and understand the work involved and what needed to be done. And the team would involve the product manager for sure, the engineering teams, some of the sales members, some could be account managers, sometimes even key customers or support team members, DevOps teams, marketing teams. Whoever had a stake in the work would actually get involved to try and talk about what needed to be done. And at the end of the exercise, there were 3 key things that we wanted to walk out with. One, to ensure that everybody was aligned on the value proposition, the key success criteria, the target market, and all of that. The second was to be very clear on what had to be done, not just from a development perspective, but also from a go-to-market perspective and collecting user feedback and all of that as well. And the third was to try and estimate how much effort all of this would take. And once you have a clear estimate of what's involved, you can then take a call on whether you really wanted to proceed with that initiative or not. And a brilliant analogy to kind of understand this is to think about building a house on a plot of land. Now, before you begin construction, you would obviously survey the land, probably do a soil test, and if there are big rocks on the property, you would look what's under the rocks to try and get a sense of what would the construction involve. And knowing that would minimize surprises down the road. Essentially, this is exactly what needs to be done even when you're developing products. Uncover what's under each rock, under each big rock, so that you're reducing surprises down the road. Then there is a question of how much time should you spend on this elaboration process. And I found the Pareto principle to be a good guideline. Spend about 20% of the time to uncover 80% of the surprises. If you're facing challenges with your teams taking forever to develop features, do give me a shout and I would love to have a conversation. And if you like this video, do give it a like, and please do share your own thoughts and experiences in the comment section. Thank you for watching and have a good one.